Good morning and welcome in. Good morning if you're watching us live. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on when you're watching The Connect Show here on YouTube, on Facebook Live, on LinkedIn, wherever you're watching your videos and your amazing opportunities to connect with our small businesses, to hear our stories, hear stories of our business leaders and of the people who are making an impact in our community on the business side of things, helping you to grow your business and your small business and you as a person as well. My name is Mitch, aka Thunder. I run Thunder MKE LLC, and I'm super excited to bring in our co-hosts of the Connect Show, Tracy Champagne and Kim Knock.
Hello. Oh, I got to get centered here in the middle of my screen. Okay. Hello, welcome everybody. It's the Connect Show. We are on episode 20, season 3. We're talking all about sales, marketing, and strategy. And my name is Tracy Champagne. I'm the owner of Small Business Milwaukee. And Small Business Milwaukee is a resource center for small business owners. We do a lot of networking events. We do a lot of marketing, like website design, social media, blog writing, newsletter writing, all the different types of marketing. And as always, I am here with my great friend, Kim Knock. Welcome, Kim.
Hello.
I know it's freezing outside, but you look pretty warm.
I'm trying to be warm. The office is warm. I got a great view to look at behind me, so I'm just going to look at the screen. I'm Kim Knock. I have a small business opportunities knocking. I do very similar stuff to Tracy, social media, social media management, digital marketing, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And I work with her with Small Business Milwaukee, and we do a ton of great stuff together. So I'm excited to be here. We have 2 guests today, Phil Gerbyshak and Tom Gosche. And Tracy and I are looking forward to our conversations with those 2 very much.
Mm-hmm. And we'd like to start off our show by thanking our sponsors and our partners. The Connect Show is brought to you by Connect Media Live. We help businesses reach one-to-many through social media, web development, video, all the things. So basically, if you're looking to have a show like we're putting on here every week, and you would like to either have it virtually or in studio, however you'd like to do it, we can help you get that done. So contact us at connectmedialive.com for more information.
I love it. We also have to thank our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace. We're in a brand new spot, still Studio A5. Look at the view. We have great restaurants around here, but they have great water, coffee. They even give you the mugs when it's backwards, but it's fine. It's great for the left-handers, but they have this space here in Tosa and also downtown Milwaukee, and they are all over the country. You can visit expansive.com to learn more about being a partner in the community.
And as always, we're very thankful that you come to watch the Connect Show. So if you have a topic we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. Dun, dun, dun.
And we have to thank our guest last week, Ben Palmer. We really enjoyed focusing on local. So we do local with Small Business Milwaukee. We do local with Think Local. And we got to share some great storytelling tips and little nuggets. So now we get to hear from Mitch about this week's guests.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim and Tracy. Can't wait for today's show. We're going to start things off. We've got 2 guests, like Kim mentioned, Phil Gerbyshak and Tom Gosche. Phil, just when you think of Phil, you think of his big smile, you think of his bright glasses, you think of the great colors that he wears. And if you're friends with him on LinkedIn, which I'm like, he's got like 90 bazillion friends and so on LinkedIn, you also know he's a pinball wizard. But Phil is really, when I think of Phil, I think of an amazing focus sales and an amazing opportunity to connect with people and to focus on your social media. So where Phil works, he's got the Sales and Leadership Show. He is an amazing salesman and an amazing sales trainer. So I always love hearing all the tidbits he has to teach us, everything he has to share. He did leave Wisconsin and move to Florida a few years ago, so a little salty about that. Those of us who are loyal to our Wisconsin roots. But he did go to Crivets High School. So if you don't know where Crivets is, you just drive up to Green Bay, and then you just like keep driving and driving and driving. Not the cool way up to Door County, but just the straight up into Wisconsin way. So can't wait to hear and be part of Phil's energy today. Tom Gosche is also here today, and I got to say, I just met Tom today, but I already enjoy his energy as well. Tom lives in Schaumburg. What used to think of Schaumburg, I would always think of like that's where we had to go to IKEA before they built an IKEA in Oak Creek here in the Milwaukee suburbs. But Tom will help their business plans. He helps people with their networking. Tom said something on his LinkedIn that I thought was great. It was talking about the importance of your written business plan and your back office. And I think so many business leaders and small business owners just go into their business without having a written business plan and realizing the importance of all the back office things. Tom believes in word of mouth. He's a speaker. He's a businessman. He also is a former, I think, GM and president of the Chicago Blitz, which was an indoor football team in Chicago. So I'm kind of excited to hear about that as well. But at his core, Tom is a networker. He loves being in networking groups. He loves helping people network as well. And he also summers in Rhinelander. So fishing, biking, all that good stuff. So super excited for Tom Gosche, Phil Gerbyshak, going to be joining us today. Lots of energy on today's show. Kim and Tracy, back to you.
Oh, I'm so excited for today. They sound so great, so knowledgeable. So excited. The Connect Show is better when it's interactive. So if you're just as excited as we are, please add your comments in the chat. If you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, if you put your comments in the chat, we will see them, and John will put them up on the screen, and we'll be able to address your comments. So if you have anything great to say, any questions, please leave them in the chat.
Absolutely. And we're all volunteers here at the Connect Show. If you like the show, you want to be a part of the show, get involved, email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. We have to thank everyone that's involved, even those who contribute via chat. That's a huge contribution. We love it. It's more fun when it's interactive. So we are bringing up Adam from Expansive. He's going to talk about all of his cool stuff.
I'm not here to really talk about anything cool except John stuff that we have going on this weekend. So I'm sure you've heard John talk about it a million times. You've probably seen the signs everywhere down Burleigh, but the Mind Body Abundance Expo is this Saturday at 9 a.m. at Expansive Wauwatosa. We're glad to be a sponsor for it, glad to be a part of it. There's going to be great content, great speakers. And of course, I'll be here. If no one's ever been here before, they can come tour. So
I love it. I'll be here.
That's about it. John just wanted me to be on here. He said I'm slightly better looking, so I'll take his word.
You got a face for TV. You're doing fine.
But thanks for having me. I love the show. I'm always tuning in anyway. So
thank you for your support always. Mind Body Abundance.
This looks like it's going to be a great event, you guys.
I think it's going to be great. I can't wait. So we have our quote of the day. Pretend that every single person you meet has a sign around his or her neck that says, "Make me feel important. Not only will you succeed in sales, you will succeed in life." Mary Kay Ash. Now, why is Sandra not here today? Because she would have loved that. Miss Mary Kay, she would have loved that.
Yes.
That's a beautiful quote.
So, well, let's get this party started with our question of the day, Miss Kim,
All
which
right.
is a little bit of a thinker. So when it comes to sales and marketing and business and all the things business related, what does the word strategy mean to you?
Let's have you go first today.
Oh, you're going to make me go first. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, so
That's
strategy.
a thinker. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that.
Strategy to me means when you have a goal and then you know what the goal is. And to me, the strategy is working backwards from the goal to where you are today, and then knowing how you're going to plan all of those steps in advance to get to that end part of your goal. So to me, that's what the strategy is. And then in the middle of all that, it's building in all the funnels and the systems and the team or the people or all the different things that you have to do to make that goal happen. And then it just keeps getting deeper and deeper after that. Like you can go down a complete rabbit hole.
I think it's tough for me because my strategy is never the same, right? Like I change it all the time. So that's kind of the point of the strategy. Like I'm ready to move when something needs to be moved. I'm not going to stay in one spot. And in order to grow, my strategy is going to change along with it. I don't know. I like that. I mean, yeah, some people write one business plan and never look at it again. And then
or they never even write it to begin with.
Or never write it. I might be that person.
Yeah. And sometimes I do have to say that sometimes you may not know what that actual end goal is. Maybe you only know what the next stepping stone is, but still working backwards just to get to that spot. And then when you get to that spot, you might realize, oh, there's even another spot that I could go to, and another way and another way. And it just keeps channeling you down different directions. And then your strategy is constantly changing. But at least I think the goal is the most important part when you have a strategy.
I think like you could keep a similar, if you're talking about sales, the strategy could probably stay somewhat the same depending on what you're selling. Marketing strategies change all the time, as far as I'm concerned. Like if you're sticking with the same thing, some people's marketing strategy is just referrals, and that's fine too. But how do you grow if your strategy stays the same?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Always. And then you have to stay up on all the different trends and all the different ways that, like, if you're using that example as marketing, social media in itself is constantly changing. Everything on the internet is changing. So you constantly have to change to accommodate to that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to hear what Tom and Phil have to say about this, because I think that I think they're going to have some good nuggets for this. This question,
I do too.
Sure. Yeah. I'd love to hear from some people in the chat also. I could see we have some people watching. So, we've got something. 1, to find the goal. 2, work back from the goal. 3, there's a camera in my way, so I can't see 3.
Measure progress, and then 4, adjust as needed.
I love it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
We just define the strategy of a strategy.
Right. I love it.
Thank you, Ben. 110%.
Love it. Absolutely.
Well,
I think we can move on for our guest. Yeah, let's bring him on.
Awesome. So our first guest today is Phil. Phil Gerbyshak knows sales. He's a sales speaker, a sales executive, a sales expert, a sales leader, mentor, a sales podcaster, and a sales coach. Did I say he was doing stuff with sales? Phil has worked in sales, leadership, and the digital space for years, starting by selling high-speed internet when the internet was using dial-up, was a stockbroker, a software salesman, and even sold digital advertising.
Phil does sales. Phil has been quoted in the Wall Street Journal, Daily Globe, and Mail, Financial Times, Investors Business Daily, Inc., and many other publications. Phil's personal brand is connection and simplicity, delivered with a smile and some hard-earned swagger. Phil works with businesses to leverage modern selling practices, including social and virtual selling, to increase their profitability, their productivity, and their performance. Welcome, Phil.
Hey, what's up, ladies?
Hey, you look so nice and colorful and in warmth.
He just screams Florida.
Yeah, well, it is. I do live just outside Orlando now, 20 minutes from the Magic Kingdom where the mouse lives. So yeah, I'm super happy to be here. And yes, I'm absolutely warm, which is why I left Milwaukee.
Yeah, don't blame you. It's kind of in the negatives today. So
you do have to come back though, don't you, on occasion?
Only virtually. No, I'm just kidding. No, my folks still live there. My mom lives in Racine. My dad lives in Crivets. Mitch mentioned that in the intro. My dad still lives up there. It's halfway between Iron Mountain and Green Bay, and on the non-Door County side. So yeah, it's the cold side, not the cool side.
The cold side.
Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you here today. I haven't seen you in probably, I don't even know, like 5 or 6 years when we were in social media club with Phil Reinhardt.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. So we do want to ask you the question of the day. What does strategy mean to you?
So strategy for me, it's a guiding set of principles to create an aligned pattern of decision making that radiates throughout the whole business. So without a strategy, we just kind of go to market and we're not really sure who we serve or how we serve them or what the outcomes are that we need. And if we shrink that even further, right, we talk about sales strategy, It's how you approach things to achieve your sales goals, right? How to achieve those sales objectives. So the salesperson, you understand that these are the people that we're targeting. This is how our product is positioned in the space. Here's our competitive difference, and here's why you should choose us. With that, each salesperson has to listen to find out how their prospects and their customers actually fit into that strategy, because a good salesperson knows that they're not selling to everybody. They're only selling to people who can actually benefit from their products or services that they provide a solution for.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you get started with coaching and consulting businesses?
Sure. So, well, back in 2006, 2007, the internet was kind of just getting started, right? We moved from Web 1, which was really brochureware, onto Web 2, which is really the talk backness of it. We're in kind of Web 3 right now, which basically means as things iterate, right, we have to give it names. So with social media coming about, with blogs and podcasting and things coming about, I love the tech side and I love the marketing side, and it just made sense to also play in the sales side because that was my experience. So I love to storytell. I love to help people with the tool side of the technology, not the coding side. So it just started making sense. I had blogs, I had a podcast, I started on social media. I was one of the first 15,000 people on Twitter, one of the first million people on LinkedIn. Had Facebook super early, had a blog very early, and it was just a lot of fun and a great way to connect with people, right? Much like you have your show, the Connect Show. It was great to have a venue to connect with people, because even in Milwaukee, we are pretty distributed, because Milwaukee goes, many might argue it goes from Sheboygan to Madison all the way to Chicago. Well, how do you connect? And thankfully, Web 2 kind of brought us together, right? With tweet ups and with Foursquare and things like that. It just brought us together. And for me, I'm all about the people. That's where I see sales and marketing and tech kind of playing together, is it's all about the people. How can you help them? How can you serve them? How can you do things that actually benefit the community?
Yeah, it sounds like you. Oh, go ahead.
No, it just sounds like your strategy is to be on top of all the new things too. Like,
Yeah,
kind of going back
be
to
on
that
top of it.
strategy, you're the first of many in some of the biggest platforms that we use now.
Yeah, and to make it really simple, right? Because I think a lot of people still get confused by the multitude of things out there. And when we think about it, the channels might change. I mean, Twitter, for good or for bad, right? It's changed. Facebook, for good or for bad, has changed. All these things have changed, but the strategy behind it, who do we serve? What are the outcomes? That all stays the same. So I think that's always interesting to be. And yeah, I love to move first because I'm fortunate that I understand all three pieces pretty well, having sold before, having been a VP of IT, as well as having, been a, director of a product marketing on Wall Street, right? So I've played all three of those roles, and I'm fortunate that I get them, and I can then help you make them simple and relevant to your business.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in sales that aren't doing all the three things. Like they might be in sales, but they're not really skilled in marketing and online techie stuff. So the combination of all of those things makes you a very valuable resource, especially when it comes to all those things combined. Tell us about one of your clients' biggest successes and a personal success that might come to mind.
Yeah. So when I think about clients, I've had multitude of successes. One that I like to share is we took one of my clients from about $2,000 for average spend per client up to about $3,500 a month in average spend per client. That's a pretty darn big investment shift there, and did that simply by positioning ourselves in the way that everybody else was, and just basically leaned into that and positioned ourselves as the expert that we were. And that really helped, because then it made sales much easier. It made people see us in a higher light. And frankly, it's about the same amount of effort to work with someone for $2,000 a month as it is to work for someone for $3,500 or $5,000 a month. And I think folks forget that. So raising prices, certainly adding more value just by simply reporting on the value that we're already delivering was a great success for us and resulted in about a 35% lift in revenue. As far as personally goes, I've written a bunch of books. I've wrote a lot of articles, but I would say my biggest success is I'm a bonus dad to 2 kids and 3 dogs, and that's a lot of fun. My wife and I take really great care of the kids and make sure that they're going to grow into successful people in their own right without telling them exactly what to do, just being there to kind of provide the strategy and the framework that they can thrive within. That's probably what I'm most proud of.
Nice.
I think that's pretty cool. If you, I've been asking this question a lot to people. If you could give someone one major tip right now to change their life, their attitude towards business, whatever it might be, what could you give them today?
Well, depending where they are, I think sales is a great place for people to be. Get used to hearing no, get used to being rejected, get used to people telling you that that's not going to work, and continue to press through that. Hearing no is a great way to develop your resilience. It's a great way to be stronger. And frankly, the world is out there to tell you no, but a lot of people don't even ask, which means they never get that awesome yes. So start out by hearing a lot of no. You'll move to hearing yes. If there was one book that I'd tell folks to read, pick up the book Go for No by Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz. It's all about going for it and going for no. And I would tell you, wherever you are, if you hear no more, you'll get to hear yes a whole lot more too, but you have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
There's a strategy behind that too, of asking for like every 10 no's you get 1 yes or something like that. There's statistics behind it. I don't remember them, but the more you ask, if you're not asking, you're not going to hear it. So that's
absolutely.
I like that tip a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
So before we exit this Q&A, I did want to ask you a question. So what kind of clients are you normally serving now, and what does that onboarding process look like? What can they expect if they were to reach out to you?
Sure. So most clients are small-ish businesses. I'm working for folks from 1 to really 15 or 20. Those small businesses, I love to work with them. As far as onboarding goes, there's an assessment process. We'll have a conversation about where it fits. I want to make sure that I can serve. I don't take everybody on that reaches out to me, but if I can serve you, we're going to talk about it. We're going to assess each other. You're going to talk to me. I'm going to talk to you. We're going to learn as much as we can from there. It's going to be about reviewing all of your work so we can develop a strategy, because it's great. I can give you 100 tactics right now that you can use to grow your business. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have a strategy, well, it's going to be kind of tough. You're going to be like, woo, 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 woo.
Which one do we do first? Yeah,
absolutely. And a lot of times that happens. So tactics without strategy are pretty empty. So we're going to develop a strategy and we're going to work it. My clients, I promise, are not going to get overnight success. They're going to get success that instead is lasting success. They're going to have a repeatable process that they can do every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year, that'll help them grow their business. And ultimately, I want my clients to be able to be so self-sufficient that they can fire me so that they don't need me anymore. I'm not looking for clients that take 100 years to work with me and want to be with me forever. Though certainly I have some clients that have been very long-term, but that's because strategies change. But if you keep the course and you keep the strategy, eventually you'll fire me. You'll find somebody else that can work with you, or find an assistant, or maybe you'll do it in-house, and that's absolutely fantastic. But I believe to sell is to serve, right? To sell is to serve. That's for me and that's for my clients. If you're not solving problems, if you're not serving clients' needs, well, you're in for a long road. So if we focus on that, that's what folks can expect when they work with me.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks, Ben. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah, Ben's great. Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
I love it. Well, I have to thank you so much for joining us today. Do you have an offer, upcoming event, or anything that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Well, I would encourage them to connect with me on LinkedIn or go to philgerby.com just get connected. I go live all the time, right? I go
Mm.
live all the time. So things like this, right? I shared this on my channels too, because I want people to hear this goodness from y'all, right? I don't think I'm the only smart person in the room. I know all of us have something to share. So check that out. And then if I could, let me answer Ben's question real quick.
Yep. Of course. Yes. We do have a question.
Email, phone, instant message, LinkedIn. The answer is try all of the above. See which one works.
Do
right?
all
With similar
of them.
messages, right? Do make a phone call, because that's often a path of least resistance, because people are not expecting phone calls anymore. Most of us I don't think my daughter's ever used the phone to actually talk on the phone except to me. So phone, absolutely. Follow that up with an email. Don't leave a message on the first call. From there, if that doesn't work, right, feel free to try LinkedIn, instant message. I would also include, don't forget about video, Ben. Don't forget about video. You can text that video. You can follow that up with that. And if you're video shy, remember that LinkedIn has a voicemail feature from your mobile device. So don't be afraid to try that as well. So the answer is not or, it's and. Go with what works and get a response, because remember, the goal of your first or second outreach is connection, not conversion.
Connection, not conversion. Boom. Mic drop with that one. John loved it.
You hear John
John's
in the background. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, because he
We
loves the
also-
word connect. We all love the word connect here.
We
so
do.
it's great.
Absolutely. Me too.
Mhm.
We do. We also have a page on our website for you. So it'll be very easy for those to find you on LinkedIn. It is theconnectshow.com/Phil Gerbyshak. And John's
all
about to
one
put
word.
that on.
Yep.
He is about to put that on the screen for you. But yes, definitely connect with Phil. Phil had great things to show us in such a short period of time. I look forward to connecting with him further myself. So this is my first time meeting Phil. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Nice to connect with you as well.
Absolutely.
It was great to see you again. John, do we have a transition video? Or John, are you going to hop on the camera right now?
No, Adam was our transition.
Adam was our dude. Adam was our dude. We don't need it. We're all virtual today.
Well,
I think we're ready to talk to Tom. What do you
Awesome.
think? Tom Gosche
Bring it
is a business strategist dedicated to helping business owners be more profitable through customized business and financial strategy. His brand system, trademarked, is a process of creating and implementing effective brands, business building strategies, financial insight, and business transition success. Seeing Tom in action quickly shows his skills, knowledge, and expertise in a lighthearted, even humorous presentation.
and Tom is part of GLM Inc., which is a business consultant and business developer. He has formulated the idea of the basic cycle of working with business owners. Basic was formed with the business owners in mind by combining growth strategies, business planning, and financial review on a regular basis. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. This is a lot of fun and a lot on me after going after Phil. Holy cow.
I'm sure you're going to do great. Yes.
Let's go back to our original audience question. What does strategy mean to you?
Sure. Strategy, and it's business strategist, is what I've called myself for years. And all of a sudden, it just became, something. And a strategy is just a plan. It quite simply is a plan. Something that is written, something that is something that you'll actually do in order to grow your business. And the planning process can be very simple. What is it that you like to do to grow your business? What is it that becomes effective once you begin doing it? And then continue doing it and figure out ways to do something similar in each of the different, marketing strategies there.
Very good points. So what are some marketing ideas that a business owner can do that are easy and affordable?
Sure. It's really has a lot to do with consistency of your message. So GLM is actually an accounting firm in Schaumburg. And what you hopefully will find anytime you look them up, anytime you look up any of the brochures and different things that come up, is a consistent message for what we're looking for in a client. and what the client can look for when they're working with us. So I think the consistent message is probably the least expensive thing to be able to do, which takes a lot of strategy. What is that consistent message? What are those 3 lines of what it is that you do? 3 lines in how you do it, and 3 lines of who you specifically do it for. And if you can, do that consistently, then you are reinforcing yourself and not reintroducing yourself every time that you're out there.
I heard you say that word consistently a lot. Apparently that is a key word right there.
Right. It is. It's consistent. It really is a big key in making sure that your marketing messages are on brand and specific to what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I think on brand is just as important. On brand and consistent. Well, a lot of people, they'll change their colors, they'll change this, that, and the other, and then you're not recognizable then when you're constantly changing.
Exactly. Yeah. And exactly. Yeah. It's not a brand is also, it's not just your logo. It's not just, what you're wearing. When I talk about the brand system is the word brand divided up 5 ways, BRAND. B are your beliefs, your talents, knowledge, skills, your values, and your characteristics. R is how you represent those beliefs. And I sure wish marketing started with R. It would work a lot better with my little presentation here. But it's representing who you are and what it is that you do. A is autonomy, and this goes right back, Kim, to what you're talking about, is maintaining control of that brand, keeping that consistent colors, keeping the consistent message, keeping everything consistent, and working your products or services in a streamlined way. N is networking, and a networking strategy. And then D is differentiate. How do you differentiate yourself, not just from your competition, but also just from, Phil earlier today? How are you going to remember me and Phil and all these other things? What is it that just, brings out your high brand?
Yeah. Well, right now it's Phil's. I remember yellow sunglasses and a pink shirt and shorts and high energy. And for you, this great podcast microphone you have and your great sounding voice that you're having on here.
Thank you.
I'm very visual, as you can tell. I remember the visual first, and then the other stuff comes after.
Great. Yeah,
but it's all part of it. Yeah.
Sure is. Yeah, it sure is. Definitely.
So you talk about, standing out. How do you differentiate yourself from others?
Probably the biggest thing are the questions that I ask people, not just when they're a prospect asking about their business and things like that, but, specifically asking while networking, what do you do specifically? What is it? And again, that 3 lines of, what it is that you do, how do you do it? What makes you different from others in your industry? And then another key, especially in networking, is what is a typical situation that somebody is in that would make me think of you and your business? In other words, how do you help somebody in a specific situation get out of it, improve from it, grow from it, whatever it happens to be? What is that, different situation? And then probably the last thing that I try to ask every time is, how can I introduce you? So, it's hard enough for people to do their 30-second commercial or whatever it is. Now, as you're networking, you're asking somebody else to do your 30-second commercial that you're even having trouble doing. So how can I introduce you? Is there, wording that I can use in an email, or wording that I can read in a voicemail introduction of you?
Yeah, that is very
good about everyone else. Sorry,
yeah,
Tracy.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I was just going to say that's pretty helpful when you're out doing networking, is to be able to provide that to the people that you've just met, is to give them that intro so they can pass it on to other people.
It's great to do that, as well as being able to know enough about other people's businesses to be able to make those introductions in person. You're at a luncheon or something, and and you want to get two people together that, both have to do with the residential real estate, have those introductions ready to go. So, oh, well, if you're in that, you should meet this person who's in something similar, and kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That falls in line with my collaboration, not competition.
Exactly.
And that's, I think I say that every week now. Like, we're at that point.
It really is, because in the accounting world, there's an accountant or an accounting firm at every networking event. And sometimes, we do things that they don't. They do things that we don't. And it ends up being a great collaboration. And I really appreciate when they sponsor it and then don't show up, and I just show up. That's even better. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah. Hey? That is true, though. I mean, with accounting, a lot of different accounting companies, they provide some services and not other services. And I still think that the services are important, but it really does come down to the brand, the person behind that business is why people are working with those with specific accountants.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely true. And it's another phrase that happens a lot is people buy from people. They don't always buy from the company. So you are generally, if you get along with the person, you're going to end up, buying from them, more likely than the actual, name brand that's out there in the world,
Right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, Tom. Do you have any specials or offers for the audience today?
I really don't. What we're really looking for is to help small businesses stop doing their own accounting and let an accountant or let us do it for you. Let a bookkeeper do those back office things so that you can get out and do more things. So the website is goglm.com if you want to take a look at not doing your own accounting anymore.
Yeah. If you're tired of doing accounting and you're feeling some vibes over here with Tom, please contact him. Yeah. We do have a page on the website, /Tom Gosche or theconnectshow.com/Tom Gosche. So you can reach out to him there. Your LinkedIn information is there. And I think that's all we got today for you.
What we got. Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for joining us. I love it. Mm-hmm. In your face.
Well, we had, I missed it. I wasn't even looking. So I'm glad. I'll have to see it on the replay. But we had some great guests today, all about marketing and sales. And they touched on all the great points today.
I agree. And, and Tom said it perfectly, have someone else do the accounting also. Like that's something, if you're not perfect at it, you're going to take 10 times longer. Just go get someone else to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And all the different things that is involved with accounting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm certainly not doing my taxes every year. That is not happening. Somebody else is doing my taxes.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll go get all the stuff, but somebody else is doing all that paperwork.
I try to keep good track of all of my stuff all year. I start off amazing at the beginning of the year and the end of the year.
Then you got to play catch up. Yeah.
Go through all this.
Yeah. I think that happens to a lot of people. It's hard to stay diligent with that.
Absolutely.
And our good sales tip for today, consistency seems to be the key today, because going out there and doing it, getting all the no's until you finally get an S or a yes. It's all about the consistency. Word of the year. Mitch Nell's consistency is his word of the year. Mitch, you need to come up here.
He's not here.
Oh, he's not
Mitch
here.
No, Mitch had to go. His connection was really lucky.
And we do have to say in advance, Mitch isn't here to see it, but maybe he can see it on the replay. His birthday is coming up pretty soon.
Look at that melt. Happy birthday, Mitch.
We should have got him earlier. I didn't know he was going to leave so soon.
Yeah, he'll catch it on the replay.
Yeah.
He will. And
thank
we'll
you,
have everyone
everybody.
throw it in the chat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we want to thank all the volunteers for helping out with this show. We have all the people working behind the scenes, getting our script together, getting our guests, sending out the emails, all the things behind the scenes. So I want to thank everybody for that. And we're super excited about John's new place over there.
It's amazing. It's
Mhm.
absolutely amazing. The
And
restaurants
it
around
just
here.
looks so bright and sunny over there.
It's Taco Tuesday today at, is it Mex Avenue? It's right there.
Oh,
It's Taco
it is.
Tuesday today.
I've been there before. It's pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Is that Liza? Great guest. Awesome wisdom.
Mhm.
I love it. Looking forward to the next show. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next week we have Lori Rifkin, which I haven't seen Lori in some time.
That's some more
And-
accounting there.
Yeah, more accounting.
Because next
And
month we're talking all about financial stuff. So we're going to be all thinking about money now.
he's also a super connector. Like he's a
is.
big time networker. So looking forward to seeing him. It's been a while. And Rachel Lamantia.
I believe so.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 2 exciting guests next week.
I just stole that. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks everyone for joining us on the show today. Help our community grow. Share. Even if you're watching this after the replay, we've gotten some comments along the way today. So share this along with your friends, your guests, your followers, and like and subscribe to all of our channels: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of them. We're everywhere.
And sign up for the newsletter so you can get the email every week to remind you to come to the show. And don't forget about this Saturday at Expansive, guys.
I know you got a little thing for that, producer John.
go.
There we go.
There
Mind,
we
body,
go.
abundance. Mind, body, abundance. What are the hours for that, John? There we go. Look at that. And we could probably put a link in the chat to get tickets. It is on Eventbrite, correct? Yes, it's on Eventbrite. Yep. Look at this. We have great speakers, great company, and you can hang out with Adam, Kim, and John.
Yep.
What's better than that? Anyhow, we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.